Hello everyone, and welcome to the BD Research Club. As you know, the Oscars are about to announce their new winners. For this week's topic, we were curious about the movies that have already won the Academy Award for Best Picture. In this video, we tell you about these movies and some interesting details. Before we start the video, we have a request for you. Please like the video and share it with your friends to help our growing channel. If you are ready with your coffee and in front of your screens, here we go. The first Academy Award was given by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to the best films released in 1927 and 1928 in certain categories. Presented at a ceremony in 1929, these awards were the first of the Academy Awards. And the first award went to the film Wings, directed by William A. Wellman. It starred Charles Rogers, Richard Arlen, and Gary Cooper. The second Academy Award was won by the movie The Broadway Melody, directed by Harry Beaumont. It starred Charles King, Anita Page, Bessie Love, and Jed Prouty. Another special feature of this movie is that it was the first sound movie to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. The third Academy Award was won by the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, directed by Louis Milestone. It starred Louis Wolheim and Lou Ayres. The film is the first film to win both the Best Picture and Best Director Oscars. The fourth Academy Award went to Cimarron, directed by Wesley Ruggell. It starred Richard Dix and Irene Dunne. The fifth Academy Award went to Grand Hotel, directed by Edmund Goulding. It starred Greta Garbo, John Barrymore, Joan Crawford, Wallace Beery, Lionel Barrymore, and Lewis Stone. To date, it is the only movie to win the Academy Award for Best Picture without being nominated in any other category. The sixth Academy Award was won by the movie Cavalcade, directed by Frank Lloyd. It starred Diana Wynyard, Clive Brook, Una O'Connor, and Helbert Munden. The seventh Academy Award was won by the movie It Happened One Night, directed by Frank Capra. It starred Clark Gable, Claudette Colbert, and Walter Connolly. The eighth Academy Award was won by Mutiny on the Bounty, directed by Frank Lloyd. It starred Charles Laughton, Clark Gable, and Franchot Tone. The ninth Academy Awards was held on March 4, 1937, at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles, California. The movie, The Great Ziegfeld, directed by Robert Z. Leonard, won the Oscar. It starred William Powell, Myrna Loy, and Louise Rayner. Today, it is considered the greatest musical biopic ever made in Hollywood and remains the standard in musical filmmaking. The 10th Academy Award went to the movie The Life of Emile Zola, directed by William Dieterle. It starred Paul Muni, Gloria Holden, Gail Sondergaard, and Joseph Schildkraunt. It was the second biographical film to win the Oscar for Best Picture. The 11th Academy Award was won by the movie You Can't Take It With You, directed by Frank Capra. It starred Jean Arthur, James Stewart, and Lionel Barrymore. The 12th Academy Award was won by Gone with the Wind, directed by Victor Fleming. It starred Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, Leslie Howard, Olivia de Havilland, and Hattie McDaniel. The film was nominated for 14 Academy Awards and won 10. The 13th Academy Award was won by the movie Rebecca, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It starred Laurence Olivier, Joan Fontaine, Judith Anderson, and George Sanders. For more information about Alfred Hitchcock, don't forget to watch Alfred Hitchcock's biography video on our channel. Enjoy your stay. The 14th Academy Award was won by the movie How Green Was My Valley, directed by John Ford. It starred Walter Pidgeon, Maureen O'Hara, Anna Lee, Donald Crisp, and Roddy McDowell. The 15th Academy Award went to Mrs. Miniver, directed by William Wyler. It starred Greer Garson, Walter Pidgeon, Teresa Wright, and Dame May Whitty. The 16th Academy Award was won by the film Casablanca, directed by Michael Curtiz. It starred Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. The film was also named the best romance film of all time by the US Film Institute in 2002. The 17th Academy Award went to Going My Way, directed by Leo McCarey. It starred Bing Crosby, Barry Fitzgerald, Frank McHugh, and James Brown. The 18th Academy Award went to The Lost Weekend, directed by Billy Wilder. It starred Ray Milland and Jane Wyman. The 19th Academy Award went to The Best Years of Our Lives, directed by William Wyler. It starred Frederick March, Myrna Loy, Dana Andrews, Teresa Wright, Virginia Mayo, and Hoagie Carmichael. The 20th Academy Award went to Gentleman's Agreement, directed by Elia Kazan. It starred Gregory Peck, Dorothy McGuire, John Garfield, Celeste Holm, and Anne Revere. The 21st Academy Award went to Hamlet, directed by Laurence Olivier. It starred Laurence Oliver, Basil Sidney, Eileen Hurley, and Jean Simmons. The film was Olivier's second directing experience. It was Olivier's only film noir. The 22nd Academy Award was won by All the King's Men, directed by Robert Rossen. It starred Broderick Crawford, John Ireland, Mercedes McCambridge, Joanne Drew, John Derrick, and Shepard Stredwick. The 23rd Academy Award went to All About Eve, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. It starred Bette Davis, Anne Baxter, George Sanders, and Celeste Holm. A young Marilyn Monroe also had a small role in the film. For more information about Marilyn Monroe, don't forget to watch the Marilyn Monroe biography video on our channel. Enjoy your stay. The 24th Academy Award was won by the movie An American in Paris, directed by Vincente Minnelli. It starred Gene Kelly, Leslie Caron, and Oscar Levant. The 25th Academy Award went to The Greatest Show on Earth, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. It starred James Stewart, Charlton Heston, and Betty Hutton. The 26th Academy Award went to From Here to Eternity, directed by Fred Zinnemann. It starred Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, Deborah Kerr, and Frank Sinatra. The film was based on the best-selling, award-winning 1951 novel of the same name. Although the violence and sexuality in the film was much less graphic than in the book, it caused quite a stir in the year it was released. Elements such as sadism, bullying, profanity, adultery, fornication, and crude sexuality are nothing out of the ordinary by today's standards. The 27th Academy Award was won by the movie On the Waterfront, directed by Elia Kazan. It starred Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, Lee J. Cobb, Ava Marie Saint, and Rod Steiger. The 28th Academy Award went to Marty, directed by Delbert Mann. It starred Ernest Borgnine and Betsy Blair. The 29th Academy Award went to Around the World in 80 Days, directed by Michael Anderson. It starred Cantinflas, David Niven, Robert Newton, and Shirley MacLaine. Based on the book of the same name by Jules Verne, the movie won 5 Oscars. The 30th Academy Award went to The Bridge on the River Kwai, directed by David Lean. It starred Alec Guinness, William Holden, Sesshu Hayakawa, and Jack Hawkins. The 3rd Academy Award went to Gigi, directed by Vincente Minnelli and Charles Walters. It starred Leslie Caron, Maurice Chevalier, and Louis Jourdan. The 32nd Academy Award went to Ben-Hur, directed by William Wyler. It starred Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, Haya Hararit, Hugh Griffith, and Stephen Boyd. The film won an astonishing 11 Academy Awards. As of 2011, only 1997's Titanic and 2003's The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King have surpassed it. The 33rd Academy Award went to The Apartment, directed by Billy Wilder. It starred Jack Lemony, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. The 34th Academy Award went to West Side Story, directed by Robert Wise. It starred Natalie Wood, Richard Beymer, and Russ Tamblyn. West Side Story was a huge hit at the time of its release, and was later performed repeatedly as a musical show. West Side Story has won more than 20 awards, including 10 Academy Awards and Grammy Awards. The 35th Academy Award went to Lawrence of Arabia, directed by David Lean. It starred Peter O'Toole, Alec Guinness, and Anthony Quinn. Peter O'Toole's performance as Lawrence of Arabia also topped Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 greatest performances of all time. The 36th Academy Award went to Tom Jones, directed by Tony Richardson. It starred George Devine, Rachel Kempson, and Angela Badley. The 37th Academy Award was won by the movie My Fair Lady, directed by George Cukor. It starred Audrey Hepburn, Rex Harrison, Stanley Holloway, Gladys Cooper, and Jeremy Brett. The 38th Academy Award went to The Sound of Music, directed by Robert Wise. It starred Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer, and Eleanor Parker. The 39th Academy Award went to A Man for All Seasons, directed by Fred Zinnemann. It starred John Hurt, Orson Welles, Robert Shaw, Susanna York, and Leo McKern. The 40th Academy Award went to In the Heat of the Night, directed by Norman Jewison. It starred Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger, Lee Grant, and Warren Oates. The 41st Academy Award went to Oliver, directed by Carol Reed. It starred Ron Moody, Oliver Reed, Harry Seckham, Shani Wallace, Mark Lester, and Jack Wilde. The 42nd Academy Award went to Midnight Cowboy, directed by John Schlesinger. It starred Dustin Hoffman, Jon Voight, and Sylvia Miles. The 43rd Academy Award went to Patton, directed by Franklin J. Schaffner. It starred George C. Scott, Carl Malden, and Stephen Young. The film, which tells the story of Patton, the legendary and unique general of World War II, won 7 Oscars in 1971. The 44th Academy Award went to The French Connection, directed by William Friedkin. It starred Gene Hackman, Fernando Rey, Roy Schilder, and Tony Lo Bianco. The 45th Academy Award went to The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It starred Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and James Caan. The 46th Academy Award went to The Sting, directed by George Roy Hill. It starred Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Robert Shaw, and Charles Durning. The 47th Academy Award went to The Godfather Part 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It starred Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, and Robert De Niro. The 48th Academy Award went to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, directed by Francis Milos Forman. It starred Jack Nicholson, Louise Fletcher, and Michael Berryman. The 49th Academy Award went to Rocky, directed by John G. Avildsen. It starred Sylvester Stallone, Talia Shire, and Burt Young. The movie Rocky was inspired by the boxing matches of Rocky Marciano. The 50th Academy Award was won by the movie Annie Hall, directed by Woody Allen. It starred Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, Tony Roberts, Carol Kane, and Paul Simon. The 51st Academy Award went to The Deer Hunter, directed by Michael Cimino. It starred Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, John Cazale, Meryl Streep, and John Savage. The 52nd Academy Award went to Kramer vs. Kramer, directed by Robert Benton. It starred Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep, Justin Henry, and Jane Alexander. The 53rd Academy Award went to Ordinary People, directed by Robert Redford. It starred Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, Timothy Hutton, Judd Hirsch, and Elizabeth McGovern. The 54th Academy Award went to Chariots of Fire, directed by Hugh Hudson. It starred Ben Cross, Ian Charleson, Nigel Havers, Cheryl Campbell, Alice Cringe, and Ian Holm. The 55th Academy Award went to Gandhi, directed by Richard Attenborough. It starred Ben Kingsley, John Gielgud, and Rohini Hattangadi. The 56th Academy Award went to Terms of Endearment, directed by James L. Brooks. It starred Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, Jeff Daniels, and John Lithgow. The 57th Academy Award went to Amadeus, directed by Milos Forman. It starred F. Murray Abraham, Tom Hulce, and Elizabeth Berridge. The 58th Academy Award went to Out of Africa, directed by Sidney Pollack. It starred Meryl Streep, Robert Redford, and Klaus Maria Brandauer. Out of Africa won 22 awards, including 7 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTA Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and was nominated for 17 awards. The 59th Academy Award went to Platoon, directed by Oliver Stone. It starred Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, Charlie Sheen, and Forrest Whitaker. The 60th Academy Award went to L'Ultimo Imperatore, directed by Bernardo Bertolucci. It starred John Lone, Joan Chen, and Peter O'Toole. This was the first time the Chinese government allowed filming in the Forbidden City. The 61st Academy Award went to Rain Man, directed by Barry Levinson. It starred Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, and Valeria Golino. The 62nd Academy Award went to Driving Miss Daisy, directed by Bruce Beresford. It starred Morgan Freeman, Jessica Tandy, and Dan Aykroyd. Jessica Tandy also became the oldest actress to win an Oscar. The 63rd Academy Award went to Dances with Wolves, directed by Kevin Costner. It starred Kevin Costner, Mary McDonnell, Graham Greene, and Rodney Grant. The 64th Academy Award went to The Silence of the Lambs, directed by Jonathan Demme. It starred Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn, and Ted Levine. The 65th Academy Award went to Unforgiven, directed by Clint Eastwood. It starred Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris. The 66th Academy Award went to Schindler's List, directed by Steven Spielberg. It starred Liam Neeson, Ben Kingsley, and Ralph Fiennes. The 67th Academy Award went to Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis. It starred Tom Hanks, Robin Wright Penn, Gary Sinise, Mykelti Williamson, and Sally Field. The film grossed $677 million worldwide during its run. The 68th Academy Award was won by the movie Braveheart, directed by Mel Gibson. It starred Mel Gibson, Sophie Marceau, and Patrick McGoohan. The 69th Academy Award went to The English Patient, directed by Anthony Minghella. It starred Ralph Fiennes, Kristen Scott Thomas, Willem Dafoe, Juliette Binoche, Colin Firth, and Naveen Andrews. The English Patient won 9 Academy Awards in 1996. The 70th Academy Award went to Titanic, directed by James Cameron. It starred Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and Billy Zane. The 71st Academy Award went to Shakespeare in Love, directed by John Madden. It starred Gwyneth Paltrow, Joseph Fiennes, and Geoffrey Rush. The 72nd Academy Award went to American Beauty, directed by Sam Mendes. The main actors were Kevin Spacey, Annette Bening, and Thora Birch. The 73rd Academy Award went to Gladiator, directed by Ridley Scott. It starred Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, and Connie Nielsen. The 74th Academy Award went to A Beautiful Mind, directed by Ron Howard, with Russell Crowe, Ed Harris, and Jennifer Connelly. The 75th Academy Award went to Chicago, directed by Rob Marshall, starring Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger, Richard Gere. The 76th Academy Award went to The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, directed by Peter Jackson. It starred Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Viggo Mortensen, Liv Tyler, Sean Astin, and Orlando Bloom. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, has grossed over $1 billion worldwide. The film was also nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won every category it was nominated for. The 77th Academy Award was won by $1 Million Baby, directed by Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, and Morgan Freeman starred in the movie. An interesting detail in the movie $1 Million Baby is that Clint Eastwood is the director, star, and composer of the soundtrack. The 78th Academy Award was won by the movie Crash, directed by Paul Haggis. It starred James Spader, Holly Hunter, and Elias Koteas. The 79th Academy Award went to The Departed, directed by Martin Scorsese. It starred Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and Jack Nicholson. The 80th Academy Award went to No Country for Old Men, directed by Joel Cohen. It starred Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones, Kelly MacDonald, and Woody Harrelson. The 81st Academy Award went to Slumdog Millionaire, directed by Danny Boyle and Loveleen Tandon. It starred Dev Patel, Frida Pinto, and Saurabh Shukla. 82 Academy Award went to The Hurt Locker, directed by Catherine Bigelow. It starred Jeremy Renner, Anthony Mackie, Brian Garotti, and Evangeline Lilly. The 83rd Academy Award went to The King's Speech, directed by Tom Hooper. It starred Colin Firth, Geoffrey Rush, and Helena Bonham Carter. The King's Speech became the highest-grossing film at the British box office for 3 consecutive weeks and has grossed more than 100 million British pounds to date. The 84th Academy Award went to The Artist, directed by Michael Hazanavicius. The film stars Jean Dujardin, Berenice Bejo, and John Goodman. The 85th Academy Award went to Argo, directed by Ben Affleck. It starred Ben Affleck, Bryan Cranston, Alan Arkin, and John Goodman. The 86th Academy Award went to 12 Years a Slave, directed by Steve McQueen. It starred Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Kenneth Williams, Michael Fassbender, and Brad Pitt. The 87th Academy Award went to Birdman, directed by Alejandro G. Iñárritu. It starred Michael Keaton, Zach Galifianakis, Edward Norton, Andrea Riseborough, Amy Ryan, Emma Stone, Naomi Watts. The 88th Academy Award was won by the movie Spotlight, directed by Tom McCarthy, with Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, and Rachel McAdams. The 89th Academy Award went to Moonlight, directed by Barry Jenkins. Starring Mahershala Ali, Naomi Harris, and Trevante Rhodes. The ceremony had some interesting moments. La La Land was initially announced as the winner, but minutes later the mistake was corrected and it turned out that Moonlight had actually won. This became one of the most memorable and strange moments in Oscar history. The 90th Academy Award went to The Shape of Water, directed by Guillermo del Toro. It stars Sally Hawkins, Octavia Spencer, and Michael Shannon. The 91st Academy Award went to Green Book, directed by Peter Farrelly. It stars Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali, and Linda Cardellini. The 92nd Academy Award went to Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho. It starred Song Kang-ho, Lee Sun-kyun, Cho Yo-jeong, and Choi Woo-shink. The 93rd Academy Award was won by the movie Nomadland, directed by Chloe Zhao. It starred Frances McDormand, David Strathairn, and Linda May. The 94th Academy Award went to Coda, directed by Sian Heder. It starred Emilia Jones, Eugenie Derbez, Troy Kotsur, Ferdia Walsh-Pilo, Daniel Durant, and Marlee Matlin. The 95th Academy Award was won by the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, directed by Daniel Kwan. It starred Michelle Yeoh, Ke Huy Quan, Stephanie Hsu, Jenny State, Harry Shum Jr., James Hong, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let us know what new video topics you would like to see in the comments section. You can also turn on notifications to get more content and be a part of our community. See you in the next video.